All right, everybody, welcome back. We are on module number 5, private money, using private money as debt to fund your fix and flip transactions. I'm excited to talk to you about this and some of the similarities that it has to hard money that we covered in module 4, and some of the differences that it has and some of the benefits that you can get by funding using private money and non-institutionalized money versus the semi-institutionalized money of hard money. So let's dive in now. Of course, like with every every module that we've done so far, I've got to give you our disclosure. I am not a licensed attorney, accountant, financial advisor, broker, or agent, or any other licensed individual. I'm just a student, just like you. I love knowledge because it keeps me safe. It allows me to be more efficient with my time, which means that I can go out and make even more money. So make sure that you understand those things. Consult your professionals as you start to apply this education into your own real estate investing business. But let's dive into some of the strategies that I've got for you. So let's talk about private money in this module. So let's define it. Private money is very similar to hard money, but it's distinguishable because of the relationship between the lender and the borrower. Usually when you use private money, and we're going to get into some of the legalities of this, but even from a legal perspective, they are people that you have to have a previous relationship. So this is going to be where you learn how to talk to your brother or your brother-in-law or your uncle or your aunt or your grandma or your friend's grandma or somebody that you have a relationship with that has maybe equity in their home or money available in a home equity line of credit or money available in their retirement fund. We're going to cover retirement funds in an upcoming module in this class, but it is applicable. You have to have that pre-existing relationship. This is not a professional lender like hard money. Hard money and mortgages, they're considered semi-institutionalized or institutionalized. This is just an individual that's looking to achieve a higher rate of return on their cash. Somebody that wants to make a little bit of money on their money, right? And usually they have very little to do with the property because it's a debt relationship. They have zero say in the property. All they have say over is whether they're going to lend you the money or not, right? So operationally, you maintain control, which is awesome. And again, just to emphasize, you must have a pre-existing relationship with the individual before you enter into the deal. Now let's talk about some of the advantages. With private money, if you remember when we were talking about hard money, a lot of times those hard money lenders will not lend 100% of what you need. Private money, however, there's no rules around that. There's no established culture or established parameters that the industry is operating off of because there is no industry. This is your grandma, or this is your friend's grandma, or your grandpa, or whatever. This is your brother-in-law. So if they've got the funds available, you could potentially raise up to 100% of the financing that you need in order to go purchase the property and execute the rehab on it. So it's scalable. There's no maximum number of loans, right? It's scalable until your relationship has run out of money, basically. So that's good. As you get good at having these conversations with people and showing them how they're going to benefit from it as well, the sky's the limit. There's no garbage fees, right? There's no hidden fees that they're going to charge you. What you guys negotiate and what you set up front is what it is. Right? And I would make sure that you always do that in writing. Always, always, always do it in writing. And some people, I've had people say to me before, private lenders say to me before, I'm more of a handshake deal kind of guy. Well, I'm not. I prefer to keep our relationship on good terms, and I want to make sure that we define the terms of this loan so that it doesn't create a strain on our relationship, because I value you as a friend, and I value you as a family member, and I value the relationship that we have. So let's just put it all down in writing and make sure that we have a very clear understanding of what this is going to look like before we enter into this deal. Always have it in writing and use an attorney to draft those. I always do. Often they're willing to lend in second position. So sometimes, if you're using a hard money lender that wants to be in first position, and you need some, hard money lenders aren't always willing, and actually are very rarely willing to fund 100% of what you need. So you can use private money as a gap fund to be able to finish funding the deal that you're working on. And oftentimes these private money lenders would be willing to go into second position. Make sure that you're transparent about that and that you educate them on what that means. That's going to save you a lot of headache and heartache in the future, especially if something happens in the deal and it doesn't go as planned, right? Because those are the things that can destroy relationships if you don't set the right expectation up front. 5 to 15% interest is average. I usually shoot for the low end of that, but sometimes if they're borrowing the money out of like a home equity line, you got to make sure that you're covering their interest rate as well as making it worth their time, putting a little bit of money back into their pocket. So make sure that you agree on an interest rate that's going to be equitable for both sides. Remember that it's not a good deal unless it's a good deal for everybody involved. Usually there's no points, which is good. We've talked about in previous modules in this class, we've talked about what points mean. Usually there's no points with private money, so that's an advantage. No equity ownership. That means they don't have any say in how you operate your fix and flip business. Once they decide to lend you the money, the rest of it's on you, and that gives you some freedom to go out and make the decisions you want to make. Usually these are non-recourse. In fact, I would negotiate in every case with a private money lender a non-recourse loan, and usually that means they want little to no control, which is an awesome advantage. How do we market to them? Well, like I said, tap into your existing network. Talk to them about real estate investing in casual conversation. So as you're at family parties or as you're at work or around people who you already have a relationship with, make them aware of the fact that you're out doing fix and flips, that you're a real estate investor, right? Because they may say, oh, I've always wanted to do that. In fact, my wife and I have been saving up money to go do it, or my husband and I have been saving up money to go and do it, but we don't know what we're doing. Well, now, when you finish your education, you're an educated investor, they have the money. Sounds like a great partnership, right? So you could structure a private money debt loan from them, and you wouldn't have known about it unless you're willing to talk about the fact that you're out doing real estate investing yourself. Now, I want to speak a little bit more to that because I've actually heard a lot of students say that they don't want their family members or their friends to know that they're taking on this venture, and that's silly to me. I don't know. I don't understand what the fear is around that, but I understand that some people have it, and maybe it's that you don't want to be judged, or what if it doesn't pan out? You don't want them to think that you gave up on it or whatnot, but real estate investing is a relationship-based business. You have to generate those relationships in order to be successful. So get over that fear. That's just garbage you're putting into your own head. Just eliminate that. Be willing to go out and talk to people, because that's where you're going to find these private money lenders that are excited about going and teaming up with you to go do these deals. Attend investment clubs. If you Google, there's real estate investor clubs, or they call them real estate investor associations. They call them RIAs, REIA. If you Google for or use your search engine to search for the local RIA in your area, you're going to find a lot of like-minded people that may be looking for different things. You might find people there who have money who are looking for someone to go out and manage a project, right? So, or vice versa. So that's a great place to network. Attend local networking groups. Obviously, outside of the RIAs and the real estate oriented networking groups, there's business networking groups that you can go attend. Maximize your awareness of real estate investing activities. So what I mean by that is make sure that people know you're doing it. Post it on Facebook. Post it on your social media. Make YouTube videos about it. Make people aware that that's what you're doing, because that's how you're going to get people approaching you about working with you on a deal, and that's when you can start those conversations. Now, a word of caution to everybody. It is illegal to solicit funds publicly unless you have a securities license. That is a federal law. So that applies in every state in the U.S. You can't get on Facebook and say, I'm looking for money on a fix and flip deal. Here's the rate of return I'm willing to offer, because that is that's publicly raising funds. However, you can just maximize the awareness that you are doing real estate. You can go out and say, hey, I'm about to get into my first deal. I just put one under contract. I'm so excited, right? And then maybe in the comments, people are like, well, how'd you do it? I want to be involved. How can I get involved, right? And that's when you can have those conversations privately. Now, again, remember that they have to be existing relationships. If the extent of your relationship is that they're a friend on Facebook, that's probably not going to cut it. You have to have like a personal existing relationship with that person to be a legal private money lender. And also, do not stand up in front of groups and say that you're looking for funds and here's the rate of return that you're willing to offer. Do not post that in social media. That is absolutely illegal. Just maximize the awareness that you are doing real estate, and then look for the opportunity to have further conversations with those people individually. Okay, hopefully that makes sense, because I want to make sure you guys are protected. Now, here's why it works. Most people don't know where to put their money. Most people want a higher rate of return than what they're getting in the stock market or with their mutual funds, etc. Most people want to invest in real estate, but they don't know where to go, and they don't want to become the expert, or they don't have time to become the expert. So, but a lot of people out there, you know this because you're here, right? A lot of people out there have always wanted to invest in real estate. So, that creates a lot of intrigue around that idea, and that's going to help you as you maximize awareness that you're out doing it. And most people want a secured investment. Putting your money in mutual funds and in the stock market, that's not a secured investment, because those businesses could go out of business and then your stocks are worth zero. Real estate will never be worth zero. It's worth at least the dirt that the real estate's built on. So, real estate is always going to be worth something. So there's always some security that they're going to have behind the money that they're lending. So you can offer that as a secured loan. Now, how do I market to them? Now, this is important. Remember that the best type of investor is not the one that takes advantage of people. It's the one that uses their influence to help people. Back to our saying, it's not a good deal unless it's a good deal for everybody involved. By using other people's money, I am not saying go take advantage of people. Don't go borrow money from grandma and then pay her back at 0% interest. That is not how to operate a scalable, successful business, because you will burn relationships that way. Always be willing to look for how it's going to be a good deal for everybody involved, whether that's the seller of the property, obviously you, the people who are putting the money in, the agents that you have involved, the title company, maybe the hard money lender. Look at how you can make this a sweet deal for everybody involved, and you will find that those relationships will buoy you up and help you scale your business and continue to work with you for years down the road, and just help make you successful in general. You're not looking for lenders. You're looking to provide solutions for other people's money problems. That's especially true when it comes to raising private money. Now, that wraps up our private money debt portion of our funding deals using other people's money course. That was module 5. Now, next we're going to jump into module 6. So stay tuned for that. We're going to be talking about equity partners and how to use them and why they're better, and some of the strategies that you can use around that. So stay tuned for module 6. I will see you guys over there.